And with Russell Wilson signing with the New York Football Giants, this leaves Aaron Rodgers still as a free agent, and the list of teams start to narrow down. Right, there is potentially 3 teams out there for this Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes. Right, the Minnesota Vikings, they kind of checked themselves out. Let's use that air quotes there. The New York Giants by default checked themselves out by signing Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson, and then Dak Prescott potentially going to the Cleveland Browns. That narrows it even more, and JJ is now getting a vote of confidence from the general manager in Minnesota, so he could be a starter there as well. So what does this mean for Aaron Rodgers moving forward? With the team starting to narrow down, there's really only one team out there right now that could really use the services of Aaron Rodgers and be a better team. Guys, teams are tired of this waiting game. Let's just be honest. There's a reason why the Giants didn't even interview him or bring him in, because they didn't want to be a part of this waiting game. They knew they had to shit or get off the pot time. Minnesota Vikings didn't want to play this game because they knew they were going to be in limbo, right? You want to give your rookie quarterback a vote of confidence. Cleveland Browns didn't even think about it because they're going to go get Dak Prescott, and Dak Prescott's a hell of a lot better than Aaron Rodgers as of right now. Aaron Rodgers is at the point in time where he's a shit or get off the pot time. Cam Hayward said it best just a couple weeks ago. Shit or get off the top time. Here is my pitch. You want to be a Steeler or you don't. Teams are not interested in this waiting game. We are less than 30 days away from the NFL draft. Teams like the Steelers need a quarterback. They need a plan B. Yes, they would love to have Aaron Rodgers. You can say they potentially want Aaron Rodgers. You can say that Aaron Rodgers needs to come into Pittsburgh to give them a Super Bowl caliber chance. Yes, that is 100% correct. But with 30 days, less than 30 days till the NFL draft, the Steelers need a plan B. They're sitting at 21st overall in the first round pick. Are they going to try to move back? Are they going to try to move up to get a quarterback? What are they going to do? Because obviously Mason Rudolph is not the guy that they want as a starting quarterback. Now, they will be happily to play him. His rookie season in Pittsburgh, he did pretty well. The following 3 seasons, not so great. Not so great in Tennessee either. I don't know why he's back in Pittsburgh. I think it's just the luck of the draw at this particular point. We need a body to put in there. But this waiting game by Aaron Rodgers is getting old. There's one team out there that wants you, Aaron Rodgers. Now, the Minnesota Vikings might be making some massive ploy to bring in Aaron Rodgers, right? I've heard people talk about the New Orleans Saints would be a perfect place for Aaron Rodgers. I don't know why, but whatever, right? The Raiders got their quarterback, right? The Giants potentially have their quarterback. Browns will get their quarterback in Dak Prescott. The Vikings got their guy in JJ. The Tennessee Titans are going to be drafting potentially Cam Ward or moving back and drafting Shedeur Sanders or Jackson Dart, whoever. There is only one team out there that wants or needs Aaron Rodgers, and that's the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Aaron Rodgers should get out the pot time. It is simple as that. Guys, with Russ signing, with the GM in Minnesota giving JJ a vote of confidence now, saying that you will be our starter, Dak Prescott going to Cleveland, what does this mean for Aaron Rodgers moving forward? What do you guys think? Old Man Rivers says Rodgers is milking it, and he is on his way out. So Old Man River, he knows all about retirement. Old Man River's about 70 years old, and he is ready to retire. Old Man River wants a little bit of limelight as long as he can, just like Aaron Rodgers. Grab onto it to a little bit long until he rides off into the abyss. And Aaron Rodgers says he doesn't want a future in media. He doesn't once he's done with football, he's going to go to Australia or New Zealand and smoke his hoxawal or what the hell that shit's called. He says that, but the truth be told, Aaron Rodgers wants to feel wanted. Everybody wants to feel wanted, and right now, nobody really wants him. I mean, they want him, but they don't need him, right? He wants to feel needed, I should say. Osman said, Aaron Rodgers will go to the Vikings, and that is my prediction. And Osman, I do not disagree. We spoke about this yesterday when J.J. McCarthy says that the coaching staff, the ownership, the general manager has not said he is a starter yet. We were reading between the lines, and like I said, hey, the reason why they're not naming you the starter yet is because something's working in the background. And it would not shock me one bit if we hear Aaron Rodgers going to the Minnesota Vikings. It would not shock me one bit if we hear Ryan Tannehill going to the Minnesota Vikings to compete for the starting position. It would not shock me one bit if the Minnesota Vikings trade J.J. McCarthy for 2 first-round draft picks to a team like the Tennessee Titans, to a team like the New York Giants, to a team like the New York Jets. It would not shock me one bit. Osman, we are on the same wavelength, my man. I think you are correct. And Real McCoy says Roger is going to wreck his own legacy. He's going to ride it till the wheels fall off. And Real McCoy, this shows you the power of a family. This shows you the power of having people in your corner as your support system, as your mom, dad, wife, brothers, sisters, whatever, kids, cousins, aunts, uncles, right? Aaron Rodgers, from what we've read and heard and watched on Enigma, right, that he ousted his family. Aaron Rodgers is all by himself. He is a loner. So legitimately, if you think about this logically, when you are a loner, all you have is work, right? You don't associate with people outside of work. You don't go to the bowling alley. You don't go to clubs. You don't go on dates, whatever. You are by yourself and you work. So, of course, he is going to try to ride this wave until the wheels fall off, because this is all he has, legitimately. I mean, he's going to be a 42-year-old man. Doesn't speak to his brother, doesn't speak to his mom, dad, aunts, uncles, cousins, whatever. Doesn't have a girlfriend. The last girlfriend, or the last 2 girlfriends that he has had, he's abused them verbally, not physically, but made them feel like crazy. Aaron Rodgers is all alone. Now, obviously, I'm not a part of his personal life by any stretch of the imagination, but everything that we see, everything that we've read, everything that we hear, he is all alone. Football is all he got. So, yes, he is going to ride it till the wheels fall off. He has to. He has to. And this is why he is milking it out, right? Just like what Old Man River said, the Mr. Pigskin pun himself.
Skin pun. Get you some.
There's a reason why he's riding this out and milking it out, because football's all he's got. And that is tough. That is tough to think that all we got is one thing in our lives. And I've been in a bad situation. Like, I moved to here in southern Indiana. All I had was my girlfriend at the time, which is now my wife, right? I didn't have any friends. I worked and came home to her, and life was good, but it still didn't feel fulfilled, right? Aaron Rodgers needs some type of fulfillment, and that football is his fulfillment. Old Man River says the best fit for him is Minnesota, and I agree to an extent. AFC is loaded. NFC is pretty well balanced. But yeah, Minnesota is a very, very good fit for him. Hunter Mullins says Steelers can go get Jackson Dart. Except for Jackson Dart is going to go in the top 10 in the NFL draft. Jackson Dart, if he slides down to 10 or 11, then there will be a team jump up there trying to get him. Jackson Dart is quickly flying up those draft boards. He went from a mid-second tier pick to a late first round pick to scoutingreport.net has him as a number 7 overall pick. Jackson Dart is flying up the draft boards. The Pittsburgh Steelers can get him if they're willing to go up and get him. And that's not the Pittsburgh Steelers' MO. Alpha Rob says Dak goes to Cleveland. Rodgers goes to Dallas. That's a Jerry Jones move. Alpha Rob, I would say that is true if Shedeur Sanders wasn't in this year's draft. If Shedeur Sanders wasn't in this year's draft, I would 100% be on board with that. Jerry Jones wants the spotlight on Dallas. Jerry Jones is a master salesman. Sex sells. And Shedeur Sanders is sexy. Coach Prime is sexy. Brian Schottenheimer has a bad year. All of a sudden, we're talking about Coach Prime all offseason coming to the Cowboys. That's what Jerry Jones wants. He doesn't care about Super Bowls. He doesn't care about winning. He just cares about us talking about his team. That's what it comes down to. Now, I thought Aaron Rodgers could have went to the Dallas Cowboys a couple years ago. Hell, was it 2 years ago? 2023 NFL season, right when Man Hour started, the Rams were kind of going through this kind of weird phase, right? They're just coming off the Super Bowl. We don't know if we're rebuilding. We don't know if we're retooling. They're in a very limbo situation. Dak Prescott doesn't have a contract yet. Matthew Stafford wants a contract. And I was like, damn, Matthew Stafford to the Dallas Cowboys makes perfect sense. And Dak Prescott to the Rams would be excellent for both teams. It's a win. It's a win-win. And then Aaron Rodgers is flirting with going to the Jets, or I can't remember who was all on the radar, right? But the Packers were basically forcing him out, and I want to say the Jets and the Cowboys were in that thing, right? The remarriage of Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers, Super Bowl baby, whatever, yada yada yada. But I mean, 3 years ago, yes, I would agree with that, but now probably not. Osmond says, to be honest with you, this is the weakest NFL quarterback draft right now, and you are right. Now, obviously, we do not know how they will pan out in the NFL, right? Obviously, that draft class with Josh Rosen and them, what's that? 2021, 2020? Can't remember. Maybe 2019 draft class. But when Josh Rosen went number 3 overall to the Arizona Cardinals, that draft class was pretty bad. But you are right. I said this last night, Osman, and we are live every Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here on YouTube.com. Of course, Facebook.com. You guys can find us on the Believe Network as well, and Bally Sports as of April 15th on the old TVs up there in Milwaukee and Chicago. But I said Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders would be a 6-7 quarterbacks off of the board last year. This quarterback class just isn't very deep. That is not a jab at Cam Ward. That's not a jab at Shedeur Sanders or Jackson Dart or Milroe or the kid from Louisville. His name slipped on my mind. Or that Will Howard. That is not a jab at them. It's just the facts are facts. The facts are facts that they are not blowing people's minds, right? Edge rushers and offensive linemen are blowing people's minds right now. Real McCoy says, I guess if it was good enough for Favre, it's good enough for Rodgers. Minnesota's, that is. And Real McCoy, history repeats itself, right? Every 15, 20 years, history repeats itself. When I was about 18, 19, I was visiting my grandma up in Michigan. She lived up there in Cowcasta, Michigan, up there by the UP, up there by Traverse City. Beautiful area. I love it up there. But I was helping her clean out the barns and whatnot. And she had clothes from like the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s. I'm like, Grandma, why do you keep these clothes? She's like, let me show you something. So we walk over there, and she has like a freaking Sears catalog, right? So back in the day, Sears used to send catalogs that were this freaking thick, right? Maybe it was JCPenney's, but like it was Sears or JCPenney's. Either way, it was clothes, it was tools, it was sporting goods, whatever, yada, yada, yada. She opened up one from the 60s, right? We're looking at the clothes. I'm like, oh, I remember those clothes. Those are from the 90s, right? And she's like, I know. And then we opened up one from like the 80s. The style clothes back in the 80s we're in style now, right? I was like, what? And she's like, this is why I don't throw away clothes. Everything comes back in style every 15 to 20 years. History repeats itself. It just history repeats itself, right? The Kansas City Chiefs are on top dogs right now. They are taking the Patriots spot. It's going to come full circle. It is what it is. Old Man River says true, but Favre took the Jets to the playoffs. He did not take the Jets to the playoffs, did he? Did he? Brett Favre, Jets. I do not remember Brett Favre taking the Jets to the playoffs. I remember him taking to the Minnesota Vikings to the playoffs and throwing a ball across his body and interception to end that game. But let's see here. He played with the Jets at 2008 and 2008. So only one season for New York. And he made the Pro Bowl in 2008. Click on it. Let's see here. The Jets were not going to give me, they're going to make me count it. So they won. So they were 1-0, 1-2, 2-2, 3-2. So wins they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wins. So they were 9-7. They were 9-7. And is not. It doesn't tell me the playoffs, but I feel like in 2008 they did not make the playoffs. I mean, I could be wrong. Old Man River, you are definitely a lot more historian than like me. So they were third in the AFC East with 9-7 record. Offensive coordinator was Brian Schottenheimer. Defensive coordinator was Bob Sutton, and head coach was Eric Mangini. They did not make the playoffs. They did not make the playoffs. So Brett Favre did not take the Jets. If I am reading this correctly, they did not go to the playoffs. It's just showing me 17 games or 17 weeks, 16 games. So I'm not for sure on that. Osmond says, imagine Jordan Love went to the Jets and then to the Vikings. I mean, we have to wait about 15 years for that to happen, but hey, it could happen.